This podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you're driving, cooking, or doing laundry, Progressive knows the podcasts you listen to go best when they're bundled with another activity. Much like how Progressive home and auto policies go best when they're bundled. Having these two policies together makes taking care of your insurance easier and could help you save, too. Customers who save by switching their home and car insurance to Progressive save over $775 on average. That's a whole lot of savings and protection for your favorite podcast listening activities, like going on a road trip, cooking dinner, and even hitting the home gym. Yep, your home and your car are even easier to protect when you bundle your insurance together. So find your perfect combo. Get a home and car insurance quote at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $779 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Sometimes it takes a different approach to help you unlock your true potential. With Capella University's game-changing FlexPath learning format, you gain relevant skills you can apply to your career right away. Earn your degree from an accredited university and be confident in the quality of your education. Imagine your future differently at capella.edu. Capella University is accredited by the Higher Learning Commission. Learn more at capella.edu/accreditation.
Welcome to the best, worst, or the worst best podcast in the entire Apple world. It is the Think Different podcast coming to you live on podcast form. That's right, we're not really live, it's taped, but you get what I am saying. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I am Will, the TLD Vuffiest, along with my co-host, the man who is ready to plan his next Expedia trip. It is Vacation Tim.
What's up, guys? Glad to be back. I just got back from Nashville.
Tennessee.
Did
you enjoy your trip?
Yeah,
There's nothing to do there.
Yeah, it's just basically drinking and eating. That's all you do.
And country music.
And country music, which I'm not too fond of, but...
How's the food?
The food was actually really good. You know, I had the hot chicken, I guess that's what they call it down there, or over there. It's a pretty big thing in Nashville, apparently. So a lot of chicken. I found sushi on the strip. It was okay.
Yeah. I can't wait to go to Nashville, Tennessee to get my Japanese sushi.
Yeah, it was hot.
Sushi.
It was on the roof of Luke Bryan's bar.
That's like going anywhere else to buy a Taylor ham, which we call a pork roll here in New Jersey, and you think it's actually good. No, it's not. It's only good in New Jersey.
I agree. But overall it was good. It was cold.
Well, that's what you get for going to Nashville, Tennessee in like November. So good for you. Thumbs up for that. Yeah. All right, everybody. Make sure you follow us here at the Think Different Podcast on our Facebook page. And also remember to go to @ThinkDiffPod on the Twitter if you want to add us. And check us out on Instagram @ThinkDifferentPod, where we post our Bitmojis every single week to represent our episodes. And this week's going to be a doozy, folks. We have a lot to get into. Big announcements that just came out not more than a couple of days ago. And then, of course, the big topic we're talking about that's in the headline of this, it is going to be Disney Plus time. But before we get to that, it is time for Tim's favorite segment that he's not ready for. It is time for the news.
The news. You took my part, Will.
I'm sick.
Breaking news.
We got Apple partnering with Valve to develop AR headset. Now, you remember a couple years ago, Apple kind of gave the fact out that they want to go into VR and augmented reality and stuff like that. And they promised a product by 2019. 2019 is almost over and the product is still not here. So now they've pushed the project into 2020. And now they're going to be having a partnership with a company called Valve, who you may know as the creators of Steam. Which is a digital storefront and delivery platform. It looks like they're going to create these kind of Apple glasses in a sense, kind of like Google glasses, calling it very similar to Google Cardboard. The report is saying that there might be a separate OS for it as well called ROS, which would mean Reality Operating System.
Russ.
Russ. So that'd be super interesting. I would be thoroughly impressed to see what Apple comes out with. You know, they're taking their time with this, as with a lot of their products that they create and push to market. They will be a late mover on this. There is already augmented and virtual reality products out there. So it does have to be something that is going to be a showstopper for them to release. And I think they know that. This is why they're taking their time on it. Will, do you have any excitement for this, or is it kind of you're just trying to wait and see?
Not at all. You're telling me to put on a pair of glasses that I have never worn glasses in my entire life except for sunglasses. And that's to protect myself from the UV rays of the most powerful thing on Earth, which is technically in the solar system, not on Earth. It is the sun. But beyond that, I have absolutely no interest in a headset unless it helps with something I need to do. For an example, if I have to fix a car, if I have to change a tire, if I have to perform CPR, if I have to cut open a person, saw them, take the heart out, put a heart valve in, then I might be able to do it. But beyond that, I have absolutely no interest in this product at all. You're telling people to put something on their face, and they normally don't do that very often.
They also try to say that you would never wear a phone on your watch, on your wrist. And
no, I wear watches all the time. That's a different thing because you can get used to wearing something on your wrist. That's a completely different thing because you're talking about changing vision, something that you see every day. This is just something you put as a status symbol or a piece of jewelry. For some people, there is some health benefits to it, but it's not interfering with my everyday vision.
Yeah, but what about people that wear glasses like me? Like, I'm already used to wearing glasses.
Good for you. You'll probably wear them because you already wear glasses. But I'm sorry, Tim, I still have my vision.
Yeah, like I'm used to wearing glasses, and I think kind of testing these. You're right.
But how's that gonna work? Because you also got to get frames for those glasses that would actually help you see, though. So that's the other part too. They have to have this. I have to have a way where you could build frames.
Well, it would go over my glasses. Yeah, it would go over my glasses. I think they would design it to where. That's with any AR thing. It's designed to fit over your glasses. Let's just wait and see, Will. 2020 is coming.
You're gonna see a bunch of people with VR headsets walking around the streets of New York. That's
the future, man.
No, it's not the future. All right,
you've seen the Blade Runner old movie.
You've seen Terminator, right?
Touche, I guess.
Yeah.
That was good. iPhone buyers in the U.S. are more than twice as likely to own a smartwatch as Android buyers. So a consumer research firm indicates that 35% of iPhone buyers in the United States have a smartwatch compared to just 16% of Android buyers. Now, out of that 35% of iPhone owners, there's actually only 19% that have the Apple Watch. The other percentage is Fitbit, and then they say other, which I imagine are other low-cost different brands of smartwatches. Being that it's 35% of iPhone buyers that have a smartwatch, right, that's almost nearly as double versus Android buyers. And the Samsung smartwatch only owns 4% of that market amongst Android buyers. So you can kind of see, and you saw it in the quarterly report that just came out, how this was the best quarter for Apple Watch sales and revenue. You know, the Apple Watch is a very, like Will just mentioned before, it's kind of a show of wealth as a jewelry item. It's some people use it for health reasons. I use it for, activity, running and working out, and style too. I have a bunch of different bands that I swap out, depending on what occasion I go into and stuff like that. It's definitely become a part of my life. And I imagine out of that 35% of people, it's become a part of theirs as well.
Yeah, I'm part of it too. I have an Apple Watch. The Series 4 is definitely the best watch to get right now with the amazing features that it has. Me and my wife, here's the best tool that I can tell you how to use it. So when you are walking inside of a Kohl's and you and your significant other separate and go in your separate aisles and then you just can't find each other, what do? Well, you just take out your little walkie-talkie on your watch, say, honey, where are you? And she'll say, I'm in the women's section. And then you go over and you meet up. And that is why you pay $400 to make sure that you, instead of calling, you can just walkie-talkie them like Nextel. But other than that, it is very useful. I have my calendar on there. Especially when we worked at the Apple Store, one of the biggest things when we had different times all the time. Get it? It's time.
Oh, wow.
And we had to know when our schedule was because it fluctuated. Now so much I don't have to do that, but it's still very good for reminders. Like if I set a reminder, it vibrates and tells me because I'm not very good at remembering things. So that is a very useful, powerful tool for me. So it's definitely worth to have it at least, but definitely the Series 4 is the way to go.
So yeah, I have a Series 4 and it's better than the Series 3, and I don't see myself upgrading the Series 5 because I don't think there's a lot of product differentiators.
There is no benefit to that whatsoever if you have a Series 4.
Will, I think a new AirPod model came out, and they called it a Pro.
It's a Pro because it has Pro features.
It does have Pro features, and they are calling it quietly the best product that Apple has ever made. I quote, "These are fantastic and probably the best Apple product since it's decided tablets should be a thing. It's a company at its finest, refining an idea until it's close to perfect. Thank goodness they don't come in black, because what else could I complain about?" That's a direct quote from the Time. So they're $249. They're comparable to the Bose and the Sony noise-canceling wireless headphones that are out there in price. So they have the Q charging, so you can wirelessly charge them. They have the active noise cancellation, and they have the transparency mode. This will last for 24 hours on one charge if you're going to play it throughout the entire day. It has an incredible sound to it. The reviews are fantastic. I didn't know about this. Will, I didn't know about this audio sharing feature. That's pretty cool.
That's been out for iOS 13.
Oh, I did not know that. I just saw it in a demo of the AirPods Pro. So that's super cool. It's almost like when I would go on family trips with my brother and sister when we were younger, we would have the headphone splitter, and we would share songs and listen to the same songs in the same headphone. So that's kind of what this idea is now you can actually, if Will has AirPods and I have AirPods, and I want to show Will a song or we want to listen to a movie or something like that, as long as he goes close to my iPhone, he can connect his one AirPod to mine, and I can connect my iPod to the same device, and we can watch or listen to the same thing. So that's pretty cool. Comparable to the $199 and the $179 original AirPods, the $249, it is definitely a great increase if you want that noise canceling and that longer battery life. Will, have you upgraded yet?
No, I did go when I went to the Fifth Avenue Apple Store. We're going to have a whole blog on that next week to talk about my visit to the Fifth Avenue store. I did go there. We're going to edit together, put up on our YouTube channel, and I did try the AirPods while I was there. One of the things that I don't like about them is the tip.
The pinch.
Is the pinch. And I'm going to tell you why, because I'm very used to tapping it. Now, I'm going to tell you where this is going to hurt. It's wintertime. People wear hats. It's going to be very hard to pinch that.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
It's going to be very hard to pinch that if you are wearing something over your head like that. Because the AirPods, all I got to do is double tap, even with the hat on, and it recognizes it and answers.
Yep.
So for me, that feature, and I'll be honest, I was trying it, and I was having a little difficulty doing it. Now, thank God on my Apple Watch, I could do all the same things anyway. But I'm very used to just tapping on my head. So there is a little bit of a downside to me. I think that if they should have made a tap, and even the employee, the specialist that was at the store agreed with me, thinking that he misses the tap. But he got it. But it is a feature I think they need to improve on. But it seems like a lot more people like that feature better than
the pinch.
The pinch feature more so than the tapping, because I feel like they had to tap it real hard. You're hitting your ear, and I could definitely see that. But he didn't have to tap it that hard, and I feel it works better. And especially in our specific situation where we have to wear hats during the winter, it may not be a benefit to me.
Yeah, okay, that's good. And I think the other complaint, and it's again, the complaints are very minimal on these, is they're calling it the AirPods Pro, obviously, and it's still using a Lightning connector. Why didn't they go to USB-C? I don't know why. There must be a reason to it, but you would think that in a Pro kind of model, it would have those Pro kind of features and attachments to it and stuff like that. Anyway, it's going to be a great holiday gift for somebody, so I do encourage you to try them out. Let us know what you think of them.
Also, a lot of people during the holidays do buy AirPods. Every year at the Apple Store, we ran out of AirPods all the time. Even the first generation models, 2 years it was out. And we ran out every day. So it definitely get your AirPods when you can. People would pay full price for that because it's hard to get them. Especially online, you wouldn't get them in time. And that's the biggest thing. So please get your AirPods early. Right now, if you buy the AirPods Pro, they're discounting them at $234.98 on Amazon. So
Whoa.
I would definitely think about getting those.
Yeah, it's a 10% discount, right?
It's whatever. It's a discount. Just buy them.
Will doesn't do math. Will, I think something was released this week.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, so the brand new MacBook Pro 16-inch has come out. Tim Cook is the one that announced that on his Twitter before Apple did. So when I saw the post on 9 to 5 Mac, I called BS because I said Apple didn't announce it yet. Now, I know it's coming out. I mean, it was very obvious. It was happening, and then Apple finally updated their website, and then the new MacBook Pro came out. Now, this MacBook Pro has done some big significant changes, not from the outside, but more so internally and physically. So, let's talk about some of the changes. Obviously, the 16-inch screen. Now, it's in that 15-inch form factor with a thinner bezel. You can get up to 8-core processor, an 8-terabyte solid-state storage. That is tremendous.
That's crazy.
In a laptop. That is crazy. 64 gigs of memory. That was a big thing. The very first model of this new USB design only went up to 16 gigs. We're now at 64. AMD Radeon Pro 5000M series graphic. And the speaker apparently is one of the best speakers in a laptop. And it has studio quality mics. So that means that even for recording, they're saying that for podcasts, you could record right off these microphones.
Wow.
So that's all remains to be seen. That's something, you know what, Tim, why don't you go buy one and then tell us how it is?
Did they announce the price yet?
They did announce the price for it. So the price starts at $23.99 for the price of the MacBook Pro. They did away with the 15-inch. Now, by the way, I'm sure they put a lot of 15 inches on their refurbished site, so you'll get a little bit of a discount. But that comes with 512 gigabytes of SSD storage, 16 gigs of RAM. Now, Tim, do you know how much the cost is if you were to max out the entire 16-inch MacBook Pro? Throw a price.
$3,900.
That's the max price with all the specs.
Yeah, $3,900. I'm confident with that answer.
Okay, he's at 100% and really badly wrong. If you were to upgrade every single feature in here, it is $6,099.
Holy crap.
And that's without AppleCare, which is $379. So it went up in price too. So you were wrong. Think about it. An 8-terabyte storage from your 1 terabyte to 8 is $2,200 alone.
You might as well buy a Mac Pro at that point.
Right. Now, I will tell you, and this is interesting facts. The 15-inch model at the highest spec possible was only $100 cheaper.
Oh, wow.
So think about that. And what we're getting more of, we're getting 64 gigs of RAM. We're getting 8 terabytes of storage. So if you really look at what they used to charge and what they gave you and what they're getting now, it's actually a better value. In fact,
it's a better value. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So from 1 terabyte to 2 terabytes, it's $400. And that for me is not bad. Like, it'd be worth it for me to do that on my own machine. Think of it like that. But you better get, you goddamn better get AppleCare on that thing. Because
it should just automatically come with AppleCare.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. But get your 16-inch now if you really obviously need it. This is going to be great for professionals. Also, they fixed the keyboard. They now have a 1mm scissor key now on the keyboard. They got rid of that stupid butterfly thing.
God.
Yep, so we're back to the scissor, and there isn't a physical escape key now on the actual keyboard. So now you don't have to worry about it. Because like right now, I'm on a FaceTime call with you. I'm on the touch bar. I have to hit the X and then hit escape to get out of it. Yeah. That's an example where people just hated that.
Yep.
So now they have their physical escape key. They separated the touch ID from the touch bar. The touch bar is still there. You know, I mean, whatever. I guess they're not going to get rid of that. So that's very clear.
And can you talk about the touch bar with the 13-inch models?
Yes, and the 13-inch models, they used to have some function keys on them now. They have changed that, and now it's only touch bar now. So they start at $12.99 for just that one. So you can't get them with the physical keys anymore. So you're forced to have the touch bar, everybody. Face it, they're just pushing that until you get it.
Yeah, why don't they just give up on that?
Well, because they stink.
Try to be different.
That's what.
Try to think different.
We got to think a little different, Apple. And the final story, actually, is also the Mac Pro. There's an official ship date in December. So now you are going to be able to order your Mac Pro, and you're going to be able to ship it to you, and it'll arrive in December. Now, according to the website for the Mac Pro, I don't think you can still buy it yet, so you can't order it. But I'm sure it's going to happen at least some part at the end of November, and then we'll really see the specs maxed out to see how much it really will cost for a beefed up Mac Pro. So,
and that screen, dude.
$1,000 for a goddamn stand. You know, and you're already paying $6,000 for the display.
I bet you Amazon's going to make a stand.
Oh, there'll be plenty of knockoffs. There's no doubt about it. All right, everybody. So that is the news for this week. But now let's get to the main story. It is time for the thing that Tim is like...
I'm
jumping
out of my seat.
Jumping out of his seat. Like, this is better than, like, sex for him.
Oh.
It is time. No, I'm joking. But it is something that has excited him, and we're going to talk about it. It is time for Disney Plus.
At Capella University, you'll get support from people who care about your success. From before you enroll to after you graduate. Pursue your goals knowing help is available when you need it. Imagine your future differently at capella.edu.
All right, everybody, so welcome back to the Think Different podcast. Thank you for not tuning out because it is time for the main subject, Disney Plus. So, Tim, I'm going to let you go with it because you've had a little bit more experience than I have with it, but I have been watching a lot of things on it. My wife has as well. I want you to talk about your experience with Disney Plus so far.
Yeah, definitely. So I signed up on November 12th, and whenever I was like looking at all the content, the workflow of the site, it's just so clean. It looks, funny enough, it actually looks like Apple TV in dark mode, like the actual Apple TV like dashboard. If you have an Apple TV, I think that was hilarious. But it looks great because it's just so nicely laid out. Find everything very easily. Funny enough, I found out from Will that Verizon actually gave it for free for 1 year. But I already signed up and was going to pay the $4.99 for it, and then I had to cancel it. Then call Verizon, sign up for free, and then now I have the free account for 1 year. So if you are a Verizon customer and have the unlimited data plan, you get Disney Plus free for 1 year. So I do encourage you to check that out and look at your Verizon plan and stuff like that. That could also be for new customers. So if you're thinking about switching to Verizon, this could be an incentive for you to get Disney Plus free for 1 year. Anyway, so then I jumped into the program, and where did I go first? Of course, I went to Pixar. And Pixar has just about every Pixar movie in there, and it has every Pixar short that they've made. I've seen all of them. They even have these shorts called Spark Shorts, which essentially are shorts that never made to the feature films, but they're stories told by the Pixar writers and animators, and they're kind of like little side projects, and they are awesome. The newest one that came out was called Float, and basically it was about a relationship with a father and their child, and how their child was actually different than the other children, and he kind of hid his child from the public because he was so embarrassed of how different he was, and he wasn't just a normal kid. And then it comes this whole revelation at the end that, it's okay that he's different, and I want to just enjoy my life with you. It was beautiful. They have another one called Pearl, Kit Bull. So those are awesome. I do encourage you to check those out. And Luxo Jr., Red Dream, I could go on and on. But the new Pixar short that came out along with Float was Forky Asked the Question.
That is one of my favorites.
And it was so awesome because it's literally Forky from Toy Story 4. And he just is playing along with his character of how he's just trying to learn what life is all about. So the first episode that was released was What is Money? And he is working with Porky, and he asks him what money is.
He calls him and he totally gets his name wrong every time.
He totally gets, it's hilarious. It's just genius. And then the one that I was most excited for was Pixar in Real Life, and the first episode that they released was about Inside Out, and it's pretty cool. They basically use New York City as a playground, and they incorporate Pixar elements into the real life, and they get people's real life reactions like that. It's super cool. I'm excited for the WALL-E one. I'm excited for if they do a Toy Story one. They might. I'm not sure. I watched The Mandalorian, and Will and I are going to talk about that separately because that's one that we both very much enjoyed. Me and my girlfriend this weekend are going to watch Noelle, which is the new Anna Kendrick Christmas movie. And we were going to watch Lady and the Tramp, which is Disney's live action of Lady and the Tramp, obviously. But everything's on here. I mean, it's such a cool platform. Every Marvel movie, every Star Wars, National Geographic films, all the Simpsons are on here. Just whatever you want, it's on here that has Disney's name on it. I will say, and it's the first thing I texted Will when I watched it, was it's an episodic platform. Yep. I thought this was going to be a differentiator from Apple TV Plus, and it's not. So unfortunately, for all these TV shows, these original TV shows, they only release the first episode, and they haven't announced yet. They have announced Mandalorian will be released every Friday, new episode, but they haven't really announced for any of the other TV shows when those will be announced, whether that's going to be weekly or they're just going to dump them on later. But I was a little disappointed in that because I was full set to watch The Mandalorian the whole season the night it came out, but now I have to wait. So that's the only disappointing part of the platform, is that it's episodic. Again, that's just a personal preference. Other people might like it, like Will. But again, it's such an easy to use platform. They had a lot of login and sign up issues on the day of the launch, probably because 10 million people subscribed on the day of launch.
That's what they have right now, according to what you read of, is about 10 million on there. Now, I mean, for me, I got in there very easily. I had no problems signing up. I did it very early in the morning, too. Probably I avoided a lot of people doing it during the bigger time. I like the layout as well. You know what you could do, a search. You have a watch list you can add. You can have the originals. You could have movies, series. They separate everything very well as far as trying to search for what you're looking for. And then as you scroll through it, you're going to see things on there that maybe you didn't know were on there. Like, Remember the Titans is on there. Saving Mr. Banks is on there. The Sandlot is on there. You know, a lot of old school 90s Disney movies that I grew up on that weren't cartoons, that were just regular films, were amazing. I enjoyed the Pixar short. They had Boy Meets World on there.
I know, they have Boy Meets World, and it's Boy Meets World.
Like, they have 10 Things I Hate About You. Like, there's things in there, like James and the Giant Peach. These are movies that don't get the love that they did back in the day. Like, Fantasia 2000's on there.
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
There you go. Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. The Three Caballeros are on there. Mary Poppins is on there. Like, there's all these different things that maybe you didn't realize would be on there. The Muppet movie. The Rocketeer. You know, from the 90s. I mean, you don't know what that is. But
all the old Mickey Mouse cartoons.
Yeah, the Steamboat Willie is on there. The Imagineering story, which I do want to watch. It's one of the originals where they talk about the building of Disneyland and all their... I cannot wait to see that one. So and then the good thing is you can download them to your phone. So you could download them to any device that you want to download them to and have a copy of it. So that way you're not relying on streaming it. You can have up to 4 people on the same time.
That's huge.
Download it on 10 different devices.
Yep.
You can have different profiles. So if me and my wife are sharing Disney Plus, she could have her profile of her watch list. I could have mine on my watch list. And that way we're not interfering with each other. I heard The Lady and the Tramp is really good.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, that one I definitely want to see. So this is an impressive platform already, just starting off. And I was thinking this week, I'm like, Netflix is in a lot of trouble. Because I was
just going to say.
Once all these platforms don't share their content out anymore, Netflix is going to have nothing but their own stuff. Right. And are you going to be willing to pay $14.99 to have that?
And that's the problem. That's $14.99 to stream up to 4 devices simultaneously.
Right.
Where you're paying $6.99 to do that with Disney Plus.
I wonder how the deal went with Verizon, why Verizon customers... I think they're just trying to get more people as a Verizon customer to do this. So it's a great way to convince them. I just found Turner and Hooch.
Oh, yeah. That's on there, yeah.
Ah, so good. Rookie of the Year. Miracle. It's good stuff.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
all the classic stuff.
The
It's
game
just,
plan.
Remember
with
the
Rock.
Titans? Yeah. I do want to throw out the bundle that they're also offering currently. You can get Hulu, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus for $12.99 a month. It's a great deal. So I do encourage you to check that out. Who Framed Roger Rabbit's on here? What a classic movie.
Christmas Carol, the biggest Christmas Carol's on here. I heard that the world, according to Jeff Goldblum's, like some people would like it, some people won't like it. So it really depends on what you like. As far as The Mandalorian goes, opening was good, like the opening scene. Then it really slowed down with all the expedition that he was doing, and that really kind of slowed it down. And I'll be honest, I'm not like the biggest Star Wars guy. I don't know every single thing, but I was starting to get a little confused of what was going on a little bit. And then when he went to the planet and he got helped by that was Nick Nolte, by the way, who was playing that guy, the old farmer guy on the planet where he was going to, yeah. How can you not understand?
That's hilarious.
He's got that raspy voice. How can you not tell? And then I started getting back into it. So it took for me the opening shot was great. It's really slowed down when they were doing the expedition, and then it picked up with the droid helping him.
That droid was so awesome.
And then in the end, it's like a mini Yoda.
So, yeah, like the Yoda species, yeah.
The Yoda species. So, and that's where we end off. Now, again, I do like the episodic, and honestly, they are smart to do that because now you are forced to pay for Disney Plus after a certain amount of time to finish the ending. Everybody should be trying Disney Plus, in my opinion. It's
100%.
It's a great platform for this content, and I can't wait for more. And they already announced a whole bunch of Marvel content. Now, there is some things that are not available yet. If you search for certain things, you will see a time frame when it will be available, but not everything is available yet.
Yeah, I know there's a
couple Marvel movies.
Couple Marvel TV shows are coming out. That's gonna be pretty cool. And I'm hoping there's gonna be more Star Wars stuff coming out. To be honest, watching The Mandalorian, and again, I'm just like Will. I'm also not a huge Star Wars like into the universe kind of guy. I kind of am a outside the world watcher, but I just appreciate the films and the characters and whatnot. But I can agree with the Star Wars universe that Rogue One was such a awesome noir kind of film, and The Mandalorian kind of reminded me of that. And that's what I'm excited for if they're going to create more TV shows, that it's going to be very similar to The Mandalorian and Rogue One, that it kind of just expands on the big world of Star Wars, but just gives these small little stories that are just so powerful and so freaking cool to watch.
And the most recent Star Wars, as an example, is not on there because they're still publishing it other places. So for right now, you can't see the latest version. But even like things like X-Men's on here, Spider-Man's on here from the 90s. Like, oh my God. Like, it's amazing. The Marvel animation is awesome.
Yeah, but the new Spider-Mans are on here because it's freaking Sony.
Yeah, well, that's Sony's property. You know, what are they going to do? All the bugs and stuff, I really don't care about that. It was the first day of launch. I get it for free because I'm TLD. So, that is our episode for this week. Tim, what are you going to watch this week? What is something you're going to be watching? I'm
watching Lady and the Tramp, Noelle, and I'm going to try and get the new Imagineering story, which is about the Disney parks.
Yep.
And I'm trying to watch all the originals that are out there because that's just new content. But I'm definitely going to watch Lady and the Tramp and Noelle.
I am going to watch the same thing, the Imagineering, and I'm going to watch Aladdin King of Thieves.
Ooh.
That is those are the direct to tape Aladdins that came out with. And that one, the second one was Return of Jafar, that didn't have Robin Williams, and the third one did. And that one is so funny. Robin Williams is better. Have you ever watched The King of Thieves?
No. I've seen the Jafar one.
That one you will find funnier than the original.
I mean, Robin Williams was such a genius.
That's what I'm saying. Robin Williams is a god, everybody. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining us. Make sure you check out the Think Different podcast. Check out our Facebook page. We post articles on there as often as we can. Make sure to download every episode every Friday to listen to the worst, best podcast of the world coming from former Apple employees. And next week, we are going to have a recap of my visit to the Fifth Avenue store. And you will see footage of that available this next week. We Week next.
English.
English. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Tim, go to bed. Have a good night.
Peace out.